The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Welcome, one and all, to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King coming to you live from Lewis and Clark Park here in Sioux City, Iowa, for the second game of this four-game series between the Sioux City Explorers and the Kansas City T-Bones. The T-Bones come to today's action after dropping last night's in an 11-4 game. They come in at 29-40. Sioux City comes in at 500 at 35-35. 30 games remaining for Sioux City. They have struggled when they've been at 500 this season. So it seems like they can get to 500, but they just have the darndest time trying to get over it. Kansas City enters play. Currently 10 games behind division leader Lincoln Salt Dogs in Central Division. Sioux City is now 4.5 back after last night's win. Today's starting lineups for your Kansas City T-Bones go like this. Brett Wiley will be leading off and playing second, followed by Tyson Gillies in left, Tyler Massey in center, Jake Blackwood playing first, Anthony Gallus, designated hitter, Jimmy Mojica at third, Dalton Wheat in right field, Vladimir Frias at short, and Tyler Moore will do the catching. Pitching today for Sioux City is Jacob Kubler. Kubler comes into today's action 1-2 with a 2.27 ERA. He does have 27 appearances on the season. This will be his first start. We get set for Brett Wiley to step into the box. Today's weather is a 79 degrees, partly cloudy here at Sioux City. First pitch is a fastball in the outer half, called strike. No balls, one strike. With the 79 degrees today here in Sioux City, a relatively dead wind out in right field. Whatever there is, just slight from left to right. Next pitch is outside. Counts now 1-1. Last night, Wiley did pick up a hit. One of the few. Well, I guess they did get 9 as he comes up hacking on that breaking ball in the inner half. Comes up empty. 1-2 is now the count. The infielder from Indiana. Wiley enters today's play, batting .310 with 34 runs scored, 5 home runs, and 30 RBIs. I can only think of this being the only time he's been the leadoff hitter to this point, as he bloops that into center field, and he's on with a leadoff single to get things started for the T-Bones. That might be a sign that he's going to be seeing leadoff hits from this point on. Like I was going to say, this is the first time I've remembered him being a leadoff hitter. Usually we've seen him mostly everywhere, to be honest with you. Seen him batting second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, just all over the place. Recently, which when I say recently, I mean like the past 20 games, he's been batting out of the 2-hole. Now batting is the typical leadoff hitter since Laredo, Tyson Gillies. Gillies did go hitless last night, but did score. Comes on now at the runner on first. Still no one out. First pitch. Gillies rolls over, sends it to Johns at second for the 4-6 put out. Gillies beats it out to first. So Wiley and Gillies pretty much switch spots now with one down. Gillies reaches on the fielder's choice. That brings up Tyler Massey. Last night, Tyler Massey went 2 for 4 with a run scored. Comes on now with the runner on first, 1 out, game still scoreless. First pitch to Massey is outside, 1-0. Today's umpires, it's just a rotation. Sean Hicks will be behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Steve Linton down the first baseline, and Scott Shores is the third base umpire. Here comes the 1-0. It's in the dirt. 2-0. Around the diamond, Sioux City set up like this. Tommy Mendonca at third, Nate Sampson at short, Brian Johns at second, Brendan Slattery getting the nod at first. Outfield left to right goes Levon Washington, Tim Colwell, and Michael Lang. Ralph Henriquez will do the catching for Jacob Kubler. The 2-0. Massey gets under and sends it into shallow center field. That's in the danger zone. Washington comes in from left field, makes a sliding grab for the second out. Gillies has no other choice but to advance back to first. It's mostly a moment of who's going to take it in shallow left center. You had Sampson out there. You had Colwell. And then you had Washington, all converging on the same spot. Finally, Levon Washington waves him off and just it's a sliding grab for the second out. That brings up Jake Blackwood. Blackwood picked up 2 RBIs in yesterday's action. His final stat line was 2 for 5, no runs scored, and 2 RBIs, raising his average to 269. First pitch to Blackwood is a fastball right down Broadway. No balls, 1 strike. Like I said, this is Jacob Kubler's first start of the season. So you really don't know what to expect from him just from a starting point. As a reliever this season, he has been very effective. So he checks on Gillies. Gillies dives back safely. Last time out, Kubler pitched against Sioux Falls on July 31st, only going a third of an inning, striking out 1. The day before on July 30th, he went 2 innings, giving 1 hit, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's yet to allow a run since July 6th. The 0-1 is right in there as well at 80 miles an hour. Counts now, no balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first. We're still scoreless here in the top of the first with 2 down. Kubler comes set with the 0-2 and fires home. It's outside. Henriquez just has to get out of his stance just enough to block it. 1-2. So far this season, Blackwood is batting .269 with 36 runs scored, 12 home runs, which is leading the team, and 54 RBIs, which is also leading the team. The next person on the list is at 30, and that's 2 tied there. 1-2. Way inside, Blackwood just gets out of the way. Counts now even at 2 as he finds himself back in contention in this count. Kansas City wearing their black tops with the oxblood lettering and gray pants. Sioux City wearing their red tops with the blue sleeves and blue lettering. Blackwood sends it out to left center. Colwell running for it. Long run drops on the warning track. Schaub sending Gillies home. And Jake Blackwood will settle in at second with the RBI double to put the T-Bones on the board early after a Jake Blackwood 2-out RBI double puts us ahead early. That brings up the designated hitter, Anthony Gallus. Watching batting practice today, Anthony Gallus was one of the guys that really stood out to me, along with Brett Wiley, who picked up a hit earlier in this inning, but it was called out on the 6-4 fielder's choice that Tyson Gillies reached on. But Anthony Gallus was just smashing the ball. And really, I mean, you can't really say batting practice is one of those things that's going to carry over the first pitch. Gallus gets it out to first. It dies in the grass. Slattery underhands it to Kubler. And Kubler will take care of it for the third and final out, but not before Jake Blackwood drives in and running an RBI double to put the T-Bones ahead 1-0 through half an inning here at Lewis and Clark Park in Sioux City, Iowa. There's some jawing from the T-Bones dugout and the home plate umpire. Tell you if anything comes from that, but we'll be right back with Jordan Cooper taking the mound for the T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services. an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore at Lewis and Clark Park in Sioux City, Iowa. The T-Bones are holding a 1-0 lead thanks to an RBI double from Jake Blackwood that scored Tyson Gillies. First pitch from Cooper to Robinson is in the dirt, 1-0. Jordan Cooper getting the start for Kansas City today. Comes in with a 3-2 record and an ERA of .379. The lineup for Sioux City is like this. Derek Robinson leading off, followed by Michael Lang, Nate Sampson, Levon Washington, Tim Colwell, Brendan Slattery, Ralph Henriquez, Tom Mendonca, and Brian Johns. Fastball down low makes it 2-0. Kansas City looking to get back on their winning ways. They're dropping the first game of this 4-game series. That's sent out to right field. Robinson will only get to first as Wheat corrals it. An leadoff single for Sioux City. Kansas City led the game off with the leadoff single as well in the first by Brett Wiley. Now Sioux City doing it as well. If the rest of this follows suit, Michael Lang should ground into a fielder's choice. Jordan Cooper was a former 9th-round draft pick out of Wichita State. With the Shockers in 2010 as a senior, he went 10-3 with a 2.01 ERA. The native of Topeka, Kansas. As the first pitch to Michael Lang, righty versus righty, comes to you. Lang shows bunt. Would have been a drag bunt, but he comes up empty. No balls, 1 strike. Lang enters the at bat, batting .300 with 4 home runs and 33 RBIs. He's also scored 58 runs of his own. Cooper checks on Robinson at first. Robinson's back safely. This is Cooper's 7th season in Pro Bowl, and all of that time was with the Indians. He made it to AAA before his release in late April. Like I said, he's gone 3-2 with a .379 ERA with Kansas City in 13 starts. Home plate umpire calls time. It appears that came from the dugout. It's kind of a funky situation right there. Sioux City is managed by Steve Montgomery, and Kansas City is managed by 3-year manager John Mazzarelli. Cooper with the pickoff move to first. It's closer this time, but Robinson's back safely. Kansas City leading 1-0 after scoring Tyson Gillies on an RBI double in the first. Here in the bottom of the first, still no one out, and a runner on first for Sioux City. Michael Lang is behind, no balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 0-1. Lang gets on top of it. Joey Mojica charging, bare hand to first. They get him out on the dig by Jake Blackwood. Heck of a throw by Mojica, heck of a dig by Blackwood. Robinson does advance to second, and Lang will have to return to the dugout. It's kind of a dangerous play for Kansas City. Mojica having to charge way up in the grass. But a rocket to first retires Lang. That brings up Nate Sampson. Last night, Sampson, batting out of 3 holes well, went 3 for 5 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Sioux City saw a high number of productivity from their 2 for 5, and he sends that out to left field. It's going to drop. They're going to send him home. Tyson Gillies threw a guy out yesterday. Close play at the plate. Tyler Moore gets it. Tagged out by a mile by Tyson Gillies. Gillies fires it in there. They're going to give a single to Sampson. Tyson Gillies does what he does best and tosses people out, saving a Kansas City run for the second out. Robinson's speedy, but Gillies is better. 7-2 put out for the second out. Gillies threw a guy out yesterday. I talked to him a little bit before the game. He said the greatest strength that he's had throughout his professional career that has spanned organizations of the Mariners, Phillies, and the Atlantic League has always been his defense. He also told me that he's never really played a full professional season since 2009. And to put that into perspective for you, I was a freshman in high school. And this guy is a heck of a ball player. First pitch from Cooper to Levon Washington is high, 1-0. Washington has only had 34 at-bats for Sioux City. The former first-rounder is batting .441 with 5 RBIs and 5 runs scored. He was a DH yesterday, gets the nod today in left field. Former teammates going up against each other. The 1-0, breaking ball in the outer half, called strike, counts now even at 1. I talked to Jordan Cooper yesterday about his former teammate, Levon Washington. Says they're very good buddies, and they've only faced each other once, and I believe it's a simulated game. But Cooper got him to ground out to second base on like the first pitch of that. And so ever since then, they've been giving each other a hard time about it. That's inside, 2-1. Told me yesterday he's going to throw a cutter in on his hands and try to get that bat. So if he gets that bat, I mean, that's just pitchers. That's what they live off of. If you get the bat from a hitter, and when I say get the bat, I mean break the bat, that's just endless talk. I mean, you can bring that up for years. 2-1, runner on second and 2 down. Inside, he gets past Tyler Moore. That'll go down as a wild pitch and advance the runner to third. Counts now 3-1 to Levon Washington. The T-Bones defense looks like this. Mojica gets the nod at third. Vladimir Frias at short. Brett Wiley at second. Jake Blackwood at first. Outfield left to right goes Gillies, Massey, and Wheat. Tyler Moore will do the catching for Jordan Cooper. Yesterday, Steve Swingle did the catching as Levon Washington comes up empty on that breaking ball. Bounces off of Tyler Moore, but stays right in front of him to keep Sampson at third. Kansas City leading 1-0 with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Tyson Gillies tossed out Derek Robinson at home to save the run and keep Sioux City scoreless to this point. Full count on deck for Sioux City is number 4, Tim Colwell. The payoff pitch is sent up the middle. Vladimir Frias is waiting for it. Fires it to first, and that's the third and final out as Kansas City holds Sioux City scoreless in the first. Sioux City scored 2 yesterday. Kansas City picked up a run in the top of the first. Tyson Gillies saved a run here in the bottom of the first. Kansas City leads 1-0 through 1 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Today's free t-shirt giveaway here at Sioux City's Lewis and Clark Park. It's kind of amazing to watch people just go absolutely nuts for free stuff. I mean, I bet you could say, hey, I just cut the grass. Here's my grass clippings. You can have them for free. I'll toss them into the crowd with AC/DC's Thunderstruck playing in the background. I bet you everybody would go crazy for that. Kansas City leads 1-0 as we get set to begin the top of the second. We'll see Mojica, Wheat, and Frias. Kansas City scored in the top of the first thanks to an RBI double from Jake Blackwood, his third RBI of this series in the second game. Brings up Jimmy Mojica, who was brought up from Kansas City. He was signed just a few days ago, getting the nod at third today after Sergio Leon got the nod at third yesterday. First pitch is a slider on the outer half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Elsewhere in the American Association, Wichita at Lincoln at Haymarket Park. They're in the top of the second. Wichita leads 1-0 as that's inside, called strike, 0-2. At UN Trade Stadium in Laredo, they're in the top of the first. Still scoreless between Joplin and the Lemurs. At CHS Field, Fargo is visiting St. Paul. They're still scoreless on the top of the first. That's outside, 1-2. And at Sioux Falls Stadium, Texas and Sioux Falls are in the top of the first, still scoreless. And at U.S. Steelyard, they're just about to begin between Winnipeg and Gary South Shore. That's inside. Counts now 2-2 as Mojica finds himself back into this count. Jimmy Mojica played last season, Laredo Lemurs. Longtime fan favorite in Kansas City, thanks to his glove mostly. Does have a very capable arm as that's outside. Now the count is full. On deck for Kansas City is number 9, Dalton Wheat. Mojica comes into this at-bat, batting .321 this season and 28 at-bats. He's got 3 runs scored as he sends that foul with 4 RBIs. The right-handed hitting Mojica enjoyed that 4-hour drive that I had to enjoy yesterday. Hopefully he feels rested. Infield, outfield playing straight up against the right-handed hitting third baseman. Mojica swings and misses on the breaking ball. Wanted to send it out to Highway 20, but comes up empty for the first out. He goes down swinging. First strikeout of the day for Kubler. And that brings up the rookie, Dalton Wheat. The work glove wearing machine has been having a year in his rookie season with Kansas City. Coming into this game, batting .342, which is tops on the team, in 117 at-bats. First pitch outside, 1-0. Scored 13 runs with 19 RBI. Still searching for his first home run. He's been walked 11 times and stolen second twice. Rolls that over and sends it to Johns at second. Tries to run it out, but Johns gets it there anyways for the second out. Kubler working quickly here in the second. 2 up, 2 down so far. That brings up Vladimir Frias, who launched his 4th home run last night, going 1 for 3. The run scored in that RBI, thanks to that solo home run. Vladimir Frias has spent a long time here in Kansas City as a fan favorite, but Jacob Kubler's cousin has to be the biggest fan favorite of them all. First pitch from Kubler, he gets Frias to chop to short. Shortstop grounds out to shortstop for the third and final out. I'll tell you who Kubler's cousin is next time Kubler's on the mound, so you're going to have to wait till the top of the third. T-Bones and Explorers are now at 1-0. T-Bones leading through 1.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Take it away, Julie.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King at Lewis and Clark Park in Sioux City. The T-Bones lead 1-0. Picking up that run in the first thanks to a Jake Blackwood RBI double. Jordan Cooper held Sioux City scoreless in the bottom of the first. Kansas City went down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. That brings up Tim Colwell here to lead things off in the bottom of the second. First pitch is a breaking ball in the inner half. Called strike. No balls. 1 strike to Colwell. Jimmy Mojica must think something that nobody else is thinking as he is way in on the grass at third base. Last night, Colwell hit the home run as he sends it into the T-Bones dugout, or right off the railing. Woke everybody up on the railing, including John Mazzarelli. Counts now, no balls, 2 strike. Today's Tim Colwell's jersey giveaway day here in Sioux City. I'm kind of curious to know how that works on the mind of a player. Does that, hype you up to the point where you're just going to hit dinger after dinger? So that's outside, 1 and 2. Or does that intimidate you to a sense of where you think you have to come out and compete, and you're a little worried, but I guess we'll see from Tim Colwell. Last night, without the jersey giveaway, Tim Colwell went 2 for 5 with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, including a home run. Jordan Cooper steps off to compose himself. Colwell goes down swinging. Thanks to that breaking ball from Jordan Cooper, clocked at 78 miles an hour for the first out here in the bottom of the second. Both innings have started out the same for each team. Leadoff single in both the first, Brett Wiley, and then Derek Robinson doing it for Sioux City. And then in the second inning, Jimmy Mojica struck out to get things going, and now Tim Colwell struck out to get things going. That brings up Brendan Slattery, who did not see action yesterday. First pitch to Slattery is high, 1-0. On the season, Slattery is batting .308 in 128 bats. He scored 24 runs with 1 home run and 13 RBIs. The 1-0 is out in the other half, 2-0. That's away, and now it's 3-0. Brendan Slattery is still technically a rookie under American Association rules. He's picked up by Sioux City as a backup catcher early last August. Former Manhattan College, not Manhattan, Kansas, where I'm from, but Manhattan, New York. Standout, spent most of his college career as an outfielder. Today he plays first, as that's in there, 3-1. Was a 3-year regular during his time at Manhattan College, where he led the team in batting, .324, and runs batted in with 25 as a senior. Even helped his team reach the 2012 NCAA tournament, as that's inside, and that walks him. He'll make his way down to first. With 1 out, T-Bones leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Now Ralph Henriquez finds his way into the box. Henriquez got the nod behind the dish yesterday and went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Henriquez is a native of Key West, Florida. And what 2 polar opposites those are. Key West, Florida, vacation destination, beaches, pretty girls. Then you come to Iowa, farms, fields, pretty girls. As he grounds that out to right field, that's a single, first pitch. Puts runners on first and second with 1 out. Tom Mendonça steps in now for Sioux City. Mendonça batting out of the 8-hole with 1 out. T-Bones leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Runners on first and second. Infield now at double play depth. Outfield shaded slightly to the right. First pitch to Mendonca is in the dirt, blocked by Moore. Counts now 1-0. Last night, Mendonca went 0 for 2 with a run scored. With plenty of strikeouts. 1-0 is the count. Wind now blowing straight in from center field and dies right when I make a mention of it. Just like girls, once I make a mention, they disappear. Wind doing it right there for me. 1-0. Jordan Cooper comes set. Fires home and breaking ball fools Mendonca, buckles his knees, swings an empty, and it counts now even at 1. Pretty decent crowd here in Sioux City on a Friday night. What's better than a baseball game? And everybody that's sitting in the stands has to agree with me on that. The 1-1 is Cooper just steps off to check on the runner. Had a little conversation with Anthony Gallus and a whole bunch of the other guys about the playing conditions here in Sioux City. And the backdrop, the batter's eye, well, it's non-existent. As Mendonca swings and comes up empty on that breaking ball, it's been effective for Cooper, 1-2. Because right in center field, or right in the whole outfield, I guess you could say, is Highway 20, a major highway here in Sioux City. And it's constantly moving, so you're always having, cars moving right when you're trying to watch like a curveball. Yes, the center field fence is high and it's a green, but it's not enough. You have the grass that's supposed to be green that could act as one as that's in the dirt. Counts not even at 2. But with the moving cars, that's going to throw hitters off. I may not do it for the Explorers because, they played here. They're used to it. But a visiting team where they've been playing at places, say, as Kansas City, where the batter's eye is just awesome. Whole ballpark is awesome, now that I make a mention of it. But there's no batter's eye here. And I don't know how much that's going to play a factor for these guys. Counts 2-2. Mendonca fouls it off. Count remains 2-2. Runners on first and second. Kansas City has 2 hits. Sioux City has 3, but Kansas City leads 1-0 with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And that's in the dirt, and that draws the count full to Mendonca. On deck is Brian Johns, batting out of the 9 hole. Ralph Enriquez spent last season in Oklahoma City, which was the AAA affiliate for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That was his 5th organization in 11 seasons for the former second-round pick. The payoff pitch with 1 out is high, and that walks him to load the bases. Tyler Moore will come out and talk to Cooper. And to be honest, if you're going to load the bases against the guy, you're going to want that guy to be Brian Johns. Batting out of the 9 hole, and that means no offense to Brian Johns, but guys that bat out of the 9 hole, not necessarily run producers. And the numbers do support that. Brian Johns only has 21 RBIs this season in 186 at-bats, granted, but he's batting .220. So Jordan Cooper does have a serious chance to get out of this. And with the bases loaded, Johns has not had an at-bat with the bases loaded with Sioux City. As that's a called strike, fastball in there. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, bases juiced, out in any bag. Infield playing at double play depth. Outfield playing normal. The 0-1. Johns fouls it back, and Cooper has him where he wants him. No balls and 2 strikes. With 1 out, T-Bones leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. The 0-2. It's in the dirt and blocked by Moore, 1-2. I asked John Mazzarelli before the game what he likes about Tyler Moore. He understands that he's a rookie catcher, so he wasn't too worried about his hitting because every rookie has a transition period where they have to adjust to professional pitching. But he loves his defense, and that's what Matt says he looks for first in a catcher. He looks for a defensive catcher. You could go without your catcher being a 300 hitter, and you'd still be an effective team. I mean, there's plenty of major leaguers that are that way, where their bats may be horrendous, but their gloves are fantastic, as that's blocked by more. Another showcase of what I'm saying. Counts even at 2. And he spoke very highly of his receiving abilities. He said that he stepped in nicely and called a great game. A lot of these guys, a lot of these rookies, they get breaking ball happy. And he said that hasn't been the case with Tyler Moore, a rookie from Kansas State University. He's enjoyed his time. He's become the second catcher on this team for the T-Bones. Speaking of the T-Bones, they lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second, 1 out, and the base is loaded, the 2-2. Johns gets under it and pops it straight in the air, but it tails foul and out of play, and will remain even at 2. Two walks, 1 hit are responsible for all 3 base runners. Kansas City worked out of a jam in the first thanks to a Tyson Gillies gun down at first to get Derek Robinson out. Robinson's on deck with the bases loaded, 1 out, 2-2, here it comes. Breaking ball that doesn't break, way inside, now the count's full. Cooper cannot walk a guy here with the bases loaded because that'll score the tying run. That'll put the go-ahead run on second with 1 out. With 1 out, guy on third. Sacrifices in order. Granted, we've seen the cannons that these Kansas City outfielders have. John steps out. Big moment in this game. Granted, it's only the bottom of the second, but if Sioux City gets out ahead early against any team, it's almost over. They got out ahead early against Kansas City last night, scoring 4 in the first 2 innings. Brian Johns goes down swinging for the second out, and that's a big out for Jordan Cooper. Two down, that brings up the leadoff hitter, Derek Robinson. Robinson singled in the first, but like I said, it was shot down at home by Tyson Gillies with a big cannon out in left field. He steps in, bases loaded, 2 down. Kansas City leading 1-0. He is obviously 1 for 1 today. Righty versus lefty, Cooper being the righty. First pitch to Robinson. Leaves it hanging, and that gets out into right field. They're going to send the second runner home. Wheat comes up firing. Blackwood does not cut it off. Second run scores. Runners on the corners now with 2 down. Kansas City trailing 2-1 now. And Bill Sobey will come out and talk to his pitcher and try to settle him down. On that play, Tom Mendonca found his way to third. Brendan Slatter and Ralph Enriquez both came home for the Explorers. With the dangerous Michael Lang on deck, or, well, now hitting, it only makes sense for Sobey to come out and talk to Cooper. This is a longer meeting than usual from Sobes, as he's known as the 30-second meeting guy. I saw him do the clap in the good old Bill Sobey line of, come on, man, let's do this. I can tell that's exactly what he said right after that. He'll make the jolt back to the dugout. Tyler Moore setting up the defense. New righty versus righty, Michael Lang being the righty. Defense playing straight up against Lang. He throws to first and gets Robinson out on the pickoff. Maybe that's what they were talking about, but they get him. And that's a huge third and final out. Sioux City can't believe it, but that's it. Sioux City picks up 2 in this inning. Kansas City still is now trailing 2-1 through 2 here on the T-Bones broadcast network. The replays up on the board. I'll get out before we hear the moans and the groans here on the T-Bones broadcast network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore here in Sioux City. Tyler Moore will lead things off here in the third. He takes the second pitch of the at-bat and chops it to third. Mendonça charging it and fires to first for the 5-3 putout to get things going. That'll bring the top of the lineup, Brett Wiley, up for the T-Bones. Wiley singled in the first, but was out on the fielder's choice that Tyson Gillies hit into on the 4-6 putout. Left-handed hitting Wiley loves those right-handed pitchers. He told me before the game, anything inside, he'll send it out to right field, and he was one of those guys that was just smacking the ball in BP. Hit 2 or 3 home runs. From what I saw, even one off the Harley-Davidson sign that's elevated in right field. He takes that one opposite field on the ground into left field, and Brett Wiley has his second hit of the game. With another single here in the third with 1 out. T-Bones trailing 2-1 thanks to Sioux City's 2 runs in the bottom of the second. T-Bones had 1 run in the top of the first. But Sioux City scoring thanks to an RBI, 2 RBI single from Derek Robinson. Brings up Tyson Gillies, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first, but scored the lone run for Kansas City. First pitch to Gillies is on the outer half, called strike. He agrees. No balls, 1 strike. Gillies played his college ball 1 year at Iowa Western Community College, so you'd have to think this is some sort of a homecoming for him. Of course, and he spent multiple years in the Mariners and Phillies organization. The 0-1 sends it out to center field. That's a deep one. Colwell retreating, still on the track, and brings it in. Wiley returns back to first. Tyson Gillies got all of that ball, but it's 385, and the power's left field, left center, and right center, and that's where that ball was hitting the left center. Just couldn't carry out for the second out. Wind blowing in just slightly from center field doesn't help his cause either. He thought he had all of it. I thought he had all of it. But the baseball gods did not give it to him. As Tyler Massey steps in. Massey's 0 for 1 today. Comes on now with the runner on first and 2 down. The T-Bones trailing 2-1. Kubler tries the pickoff move at first. Wiley's back safely. Derek Robinson was thrown out on a pickoff move at the end of the bottom of the second. In that inning. First pitch to Massey's outside, 1-0. I think I said before the game, 500 record for Sioux City is always a bad sign of fortune. They're 3-12 during those situations. As that's low, 2-0 down to Massey. And when I say 3-12 in those situations, it means when they reach 500 with their record, they've lost 12 games, falling black below 500. They've only won 3 of those, going above 500. Sitting at right now 39 and 39. 35 and 35, pardon me. The 2-0 is inside. Counts now 3-0 as Tyler Massey can just sit comfortably in the box. Infield playing straight up with 2 down and a runner on first. Here comes the 3-0. And Tyler Massey walks on 4 pitches to put runners on first and second. And the T-Bones trailing 2-1. T-Bones have something cooking with the runner in scoring position. And the hot-hitting, dangerous Jake Blackwood stepping into the box. Blackwood already has an RBI today, picking up one in the first on an RBI double. In his last 10 games, Jake Blackwood is batting .359 in 39 at-bats. He's got 7 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs. 3 of those RBIs coming in the last 5. 2 of those coming last night. First pitch to Blackwood is in the zone. No balls, 1 strike at 92 miles an hour from Kubler. And like I said, last time Kubler was on the mound, he's got a very famous cousin who's a fan favorite in Kansas City, and that cousin is Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon, the native of Lincoln, Nebraska, and Kansas City's, almost said the T-Bones, and Kansas City's longtime left fielder slash third baseman, originally dubbed as the next George Brett as that's outside. The count's even at 1. And now forged his own status with the Royals. Become a fan favorite and cashing out a huge payday this offseason, and thankfully so. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Kubler played his college ball at Lincoln Southeast in 2008, same place Alex Gordon did, and my high school baseball coach, Chad Herron. Major shout out right there. Kubler was originally drafted by the Royals as a first baseman in 2008. Spent 5 minor league seasons as a position player before the Mets picked him up and gave him a 3-year trial. As Jake Blackwood swings and comes up empty, and the count's now 2-2. He's done it very effectively during his time as a pitcher. He was 4-1 with a .239 ERA and 14 Florida State League appearances last season, making 3 starts. With the Explorers, he's tied for team honors with 27 trips to the hills, all in relief, this being his first start. And sporting a .227 ERA while limiting hitters to a .191 batting average. As he's earned his spot to start on the mound tonight. He steps off. Both runners return for cautionary times as Ralph Henriquez goes out and talks to his pitcher, with the T-Bones trailing 2-1 with 2 outs, 2 down, count 2-2. Deuces all around. Henriquez returns behind the dish. They turn the lights on here early in Sioux City. Plenty of sunlight to go around, but the stadium lights are already on. The 2-2. It's in on Blackwood's hands. He grounds it softly back to the mound. And Kubler surely throws it to first to retire the side. Kansas City gets 2 on thanks to a hit and a walk, but they strand them both. And Kansas City still trails 2-1 through 2.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com. It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore here at Sioux City. Michael Lang gets things started and pulls the foul ball down the left field line. Counts 0-1. Jordan Cooper's given up 2 runs in this game. Kansas City trailing 2-1. Here's beginning the 3rd inning. 2 has been the number for Jordan Cooper in his last 3 starts. Since July 20th, he's made at Lincoln. He's made a start at home against Gary at Winnipeg, 20th, 25th, and 30th of July. Counts 1-1 now. Giving up 2 runs in each, but his last time out, he went 8 innings against Winnipeg, giving up 5 hits, walking 3, and striking out 1. As Lang sends it out to right field, Wheat immediately comes in on it, but retreats and makes a leaping grab out in right field to take care of Lang for the first out. Not getting a clear read immediately off the bat, but doing good enough to get the first out here in the 3rd. That brings up Nate Sampson, who singled in the first. He's 1 for 1. He found his way getting to 3rd thanks to a wild pitch after already being at 2nd, but he was stranded at 3rd. Appears we have another pitcher's duel on the mound, righty versus righty, Cooper and Sampson. First pitch to Sampson, he sends it out to right center. Massey and Wheat converging. And that's up and brought in by Massey. Couldn't really tell what happened. It's just funky lighting out there, I guess, or maybe it's just my 20-year-old eyes are just not right. That's brought in for the second out by Tyler Massey. A rather quick second out and loud second out. As I thought it had a shot to go out, and I'm sure glad it didn't. Well, that brings up Levon Washington, who's 0 for 1 today after grounding out to short in the first. First pitch is high and outside, 1-0. If anybody's going to know how to approach Levon Washington, it's his former teammate in the Indians organization, Jordan Cooper. 1-0. It's high and outside as well, 2-0. So far this season in 78 and 3rd innings, Cooper has surrendered 78 hits. Opponents are batting .263 against him. Here comes the 2-0. Inside, 3-0. He has struck out 37 and walked 28. At one point, he had 3 straight no decisions. The 3-0 finds the zone, 3-1. The 3-1. Washington grounds that sharply to second past a diving Wiley, and that's in our center field for a 2-out single for Washington. That extends his hitting streak to 9 games. And brings up Tim Colwell. Colwell's 0 for 1 on his jersey giveaway day here at Lewis and Clark Park. Striking out swinging in the second. Kansas City trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs and a runner on first. Colwell was a first-team academic All-American during his time at North Dakota State. He's been an invaluable contributor throughout Steve Montgomery's 3 seasons with the Explorers. Cooper checks on the runner at first, Washington. Washington was drafted as a first-round draft pick and as a second-round draft pick, same time in both. Either way, he got a $1.2 million signing bonus. I don't think I'd be complaining either way. He was known for his speed coming up. First pitch from Cooper. Colwell shows bunt. Doesn't pull it back. 0-1. Tyler Moore came up firing on that, ready to go. Washington remains at first. Tyler Moore, being a rookie from Kansas State, he does things like that, and that's just awesome. I mean, that's stuff a veteran only knows how to do. But we have this young man out here. And I say young man, he's older than me. As the 0-1 is sent out to center field, but he's smart. It's just a smart baseball player. That's all I got to get as Tyler Massey squeezes that after talking about Tyler Moore for so long. It just confused me. For the third and final out. Kansas City still trails 2-1 through 3 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones trail 2-1 as we begin the fourth inning. Anthony Gallus leading things off for the T-Bones. First pitch to Gallus. He sends that to left field. Washington still retreating, but brings it in on the track for the first out. Anthony Gallus coming up hacking on this first at-bat in the fourth. He's now 0 for 2 today, but that ball was absolutely smacked out to left field. Just so happens to find his former teammate's glove. That brings up Jimmy Mojica's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. That brings up Jimmy Mojica. Like I said, he's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout swinging in the second inning. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Next pitch finds the zone. Counts now even at 1. In Mojica's last 10 games, which has been kind of a roller coaster, sign, release, sign, release, sign, release, as he grounds that to short. Sampson to first for the second out. But in his last 10 games, Jimmy Mojica has been batting .123. Granted, that's only 8 at-bats with an RBI. That brings in Dalton Wheat now with 2 down. Wheat extended his hitting streak to 10 games last night on a pinch hit in the 9th inning. He also came around to score. So far today, he's 0 for 1. First pitch to Wheat is outside, 1-0. Grounded out to second base in the second. 1-0. Wheat Oppo off the end of his bat to left field. Washington tracking it near the line. He gets it. Crashes into the wall for the third and final out. As you got to tip your hat to Levon Washington running about 90 feet to get that ball on the line. The T-Bones go down 1-2-3. And the T-Bones also trail 2-1 through 3.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926. Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back to the T-Bones broadcast network. The T-Bones trailed 2-1, so we get set to begin the bottom of the fourth. T-Bones scored their lone run in the first, thanks to an RBI double from Jake Blackwood. Sioux City answered in the bottom of the second with 2 runs to take the lead, the early lead. Game is not even close to over as Brendan Slattery steps in. First pitch to Slattery, sends it out to right field. Dalton Wheat tracking it. The ball's about a mile in the air and brings it in for the first out. First pitch, first out. Nothing more efficient than that. And that brings up Ralph Henriquez. Henriquez singled in the second and scored one of the 2 runs for Sioux City. First pitch from Cooper is low, 1-0. The 1-0 to Henriquez. Henriquez gets under it and pops it straight up, but tails out of the ballpark above the press box. Counts now even at 1. Jordan Cooper sitting at 51 pitches here in the fourth. Fairly efficient day for the Indians farmhand. Henriquez lines that foul right past the T-Bones dugout. Counts now 1-2 to Henriquez. Jordan Cooper loves to get ahead, and what's better than this? 1-2 count. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Tyler Moore sticks in front of himself. Not that it truly matters, seeing as no one's on base with 1 out. The T-Bones trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Henriquez sends it out to right field. That's up. Had home run distance, but foul. It's now 2-2. Henriquez steps out to get his bearings against Cooper. Cooper has been on his spot for the most of this game. His one mistake was in the bottom of the second that scored 2 runs. Henriquez chops that foul. 2-2. His line so far is at 3 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. His counterpart, John Kubler, doing the same for Sioux City. Kubler's gone 4 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run it was earned with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Pitcher's duel would be the definition. The 2-2. Henriquez pops it up. tailing foul and out of play, and it does. Stayed in play, but the deep corners here in Sioux City were far enough from Jimmy Mojica and Tyler Moore. Neither could make the play. Count remains 2-2. Shadows on home plate could make it difficult. The 2-2. Enriquez sends it out to right center. Dalton Wheat on his horse. That drops. Gets past him. Enriquez advancing to second. Wheat gets it in quickly after the ball got past him. So that puts Enriquez on second with one out. Be curious to know if they ruled out a double or a single. Could stick an error on Dalton Wheat that advanced. And they're going to give him the double on that. I could have seen that going either way. Will not disagree. Tommy Mendonza steps in for Sioux City. Mendonza walked in the second. Was ultimately stranded at third. Comes on now with the runner on second, one out, and the T-Bones trailing 2-1. First pitch is low, 1-0. In Mendonca's last 10 games, he's batting .222 with 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs. That's a strike called in there. It counts now even at 1. Last night, Mendonca did go 0 for 2 with the runs scored. The 1-1. Mendonca fouls it off and out of the park. Counts now 1-2. Sioux City being 35-35 on the season should help the T-Bones cause. As Sioux City's 3-12 when their record is at 500. Kansas City's record sitting at 29-40, 11 games below 500. They have picked it up closer to this All-Star break. Right now, needs to be the time to shine. They lost last night's action 11-4 to the Explorers. The 1-2. Mendonca sends that hard out to right field. Wheat still retreating. That's up and out of the park as Mendonca clears the bases with a 2-run home run to extend the Sioux City lead to 4-1. That's Mendonca's 6th home run of the season. That brings in the 9-hole hitter Brian Johns with 1 out. It seems when Sioux City does score, they score in bunches. Last night, the final line score had Sioux City scoring 2 in the first and the second each. Then they scored 3 in the 5th. And then 3 in the 8th. As that's lined out to left field, that'll drop. Brian Johns keeps things going with a 1-out single. That brings up Derek Robinson, who is 2 for 2 today. He was gunned down by Tyson Gillies at home in the first. Then he was thrown out on a pickoff move by Jordan Cooper in the second. Jordan Cooper comes set. First pitch to Robinson is a called strike on the inner half. No balls, 1 strike. Jordan Cooper gave up 2 in the second, now gave up 2 so far in the fourth with 1 out. Runner still on first as Kansas City trails 4-1. Sioux City already sitting at 8 hits, Kansas City at 3. Cooper checks on the runner at first. He's already got 1 guy out on a pickoff move. That 1 guy is at the plate, Tries to get out Brian Johns, but Johns is diving back safely. Cooper comes set with the 0-1. Fires to first, closer this time, but Johns is still back there safely. Jordan Cooper showing his strength on the pickoff move. He's gotten one, can't help but think that he'll get two. Cooper checks on him again, firing it over there. But Johns not getting a large enough lead to even bait Blackwood into applying a tag. No balls, one strike, here it comes. On the outer half, called strike. Robinson doesn't like it, but I love it. 0-2. One out, runner on first. T-Bones trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. As Cooper gets a sign from Moore with the 0-2. Here comes the no balls, 2-strike pitch. It's inside, blocked by Moore, keeps it in front of him, but it gets away just enough to advance Brian Johns to second. Counts now 1-2. Be a wild pitch that advances Brian Johns. Ball was in the dirt. Robinson having a chance here to pick up his second RBI of the game. The 1-2. And that hits Robinson on his hip, gets away, and Johns advances to third. I could have sworn I heard that hit him. Robinson not saying that it hit him. But it must have bounced or something along those lines. Robinson steps back in there. I'm confused, but if Robinson doesn't want the base, be more than happy to not give it to him. Brian Johns advances to third on another wild pitch. Second of this at bat. 2-2 count, one out, runner on third. Sacrifice is now an option. Here comes the 2-2. Robinson hits it sky high. Mojica, Frias, and Gillies looking for it. Mojica brings it in on the warning track for the second out. Michael Lang steps in now, 0 for 2 so far today. He's not somebody you want to mess with, though, seeing as how Lang went 3 for 5 in last night's action, picking up 3 of Sioux City's 12 hits yesterday. Sioux City already sitting at 8 hits, Kansas City at 3, Sioux City leading 4-1. Here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 down and a runner still on third. First pitch from Cooper. Just outside, 1-0. Action in the T-Bones bullpen. A number of guys getting loose. Here's Johnny Shuttlesworth stretching out. Next pitch is in the dirt and outside from Tyler Moore, 2-0. The 2-0 is high. Now Lang has some pitches to play with and can finally get comfortable in the box, 3-0. .70 pitches so far for Jordan Cooper through 3 2/3. Here comes the 3-0. That's a called strike right down Broadway. Counts now 3-1. Kansas City looking to play damage control here with the runner on third and 2 down. The 3-1 count and trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. That's way inside on Lang, and that'll walk him on 5 pitches. Putting runners on the corners with 2 down, and rightfully so. Tyler Moore will go out and talk to his pitcher.
Number 5, shortstop, Nate Sampson.
That brings in Nate Sampson once we resume action. Sampson is 1 for 2 today. with a single in the first. Flew out to center field last time we saw him in the third. Sampson was originally drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 34th round of the 2006 draft out of Forest High School in out of Osala, Florida. It's been a large number of years in the Cubs organization, then spent some time with the Arizona Diamondbacks and Los Angeles Dodgers. First pitch of Sampson is inside, 1-0. Last season, he even reached AAA with the Dodgers combined. Last season, he batted .226, no home runs and 9 RBIs and 155 at-bats. 1-0. Way out ahead of it. Frias charging at short. Fires to Blackwood at first. Blackwood stretches and gets him for the third and final out. Sioux City scores 2 this inning thanks to a 2-run home run by Tommy Mendonça. Kansas City trails 4-1 through 4 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King coming to you live from Sioux City at Lewis and Clark Park with the T-Bones trailing 4-1. We'll get set to begin the top of the 5th inning. See Vladimir Frias leading things off for the T-Bones. So far today, Vladimir Frias is 0 for 1, grounding out to the other shortstop in the first. First pitch to Frias is outside, 1-0. Last night, Frias launched a solo home run for Kansas City. His final stat line was 1 for 3 with a run scored and that RBI. Shows bunt, pulls it back, it's in there. Counts 1-1. Frias swatting the bugs out of the way right in front of the plate. Here comes the 1-1. Frias rolls it over to second. That's past a diving Johns and into right field for a leadoff single. Vladimir Frias coming on strong on this 4-game road trip, picking up that hit yesterday in the first game of the series. A lone hit was a home run, so it's still very impressive. That brings up Tyler Moore, the former Kansas State Wildcat, spending his senior season at Kansas State this previous spring. First pitch to Moore is low, 1-0. Comes on with Frias on first. No one out, and the T-Bones trailing 4-1. Moore fouls that off. Counts now even at 1. Never met anybody that's had a bad thing to say about Tyler Moore. The 3 words that you hear the most about Tyler Moore are humble, polite, and soft-spoken. And really, I have to agree with that completely. He didn't have an easy trip to Division I baseball. He sends it out to right field. Charging right fielder makes the catch, tries to tag, double up Frias at first, but Frias is back sliding. So 1 down, runner still on first. Tyler Moore, that ball could have dropped for him, but it didn't. Dropped right into the glove of the right fielder, Lang. But that does allow the top of the order, Brett Wiley, to come up for the T-Bones. Wiley is 2 for 2 as a leadoff hitter today. 2 singles, 1 in the first and 1 in the third. Farthest he's gotten today is second base. Comes on now with Frias on first and 1 out. Pickoff attempt at first. Frias dives back safely. Frias did have a problem earlier this year with pickoff moves. Been picked off about 2 or 3 times that I can remember just off the top of my head. And there came a point where John Mazzarelli told him, keep your foot on the bag until the pitchers deliver the ball, and then you get your secondary lead. And I thought that was ridiculous at the time, because that's outside, 1-0. But when you think about it, he's still getting as far as he would if you even got your, 2-3 foot lead, and then your secondary. You can get a large secondary without the pitcher even being baited. So that swings and misses. Counts now even at 1 on the breaking ball. Double play depth for the infield. Pardon me for that. That's outside, 2-1. Brett Wiley has had a very successful year for Kansas City. And why not? His time in the St. Louis Cardinals organization proves that as he sends it out to right center, it's shallow. Frias will be held up at second. He makes an aggressive turn, but he's back diving. And Brett Wiley picks up his 3rd hit, 3rd single of the game. Don't look now, but he's 3 for 3. Vladimir Frias getting aggressive on the base pass, takes a super aggressive turn around second. That brings up Tyson Gillies, who's 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice in the first, but he did come around to score. And so far this season, Gillies is batting .222 and only 81 at-bats with 15 runs scored and 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. First pitch is a breaking ball inside, 1-0. If you're going to get to Kubler, now is the time with runners on first and second, 1 out, and trailing by 3 runs. T-Bone's trailing 4-1 here in the top of the 5th. One swing can tie the game. The tying run is at bat. That's outside, 2-0. Go ahead, run on deck. Kubler gets a sign. It'll be lefty versus righty. Gillies having the advantage being the lefty. The 2-0 rolls it over and fouls down the first base line. Counts now 2-1. And I say lefty versus righty all the time. Righty versus lefty, lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty. But when you're facing the opposite, say a lefty facing a righty or a righty facing a lefty, the batter has the advantage in that because you can see the ball out of the pitcher's hand a lot better. And just gives you that little split second that you just need to make that solid contact because that's outside, 3-1. Some guys are weird. They like facing, or say righty versus righty or lefty versus lefty. But I'd say about 75% of the time, guys love it when they're facing the opposite. The 3-1. Gillies swings and comes up empty on that fastball. If he would have made contact, would have been a tie game. Counts now full. On deck for Kansas City is Tyler Massey. Runners on first and second, 1 out. T-Bone's trailing 4-1. And the top of the 5th. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runners go. Gillies sends it out to short. Going to be a tough play. Strong throw from Sampson. Gets him for the second out. Both runners advance, though, to second and third. Sampson had to range to his right and had to have been a strong throw to get Gillies, and it was for the second out. John Mazzarelli putting his guys in motion, and that pays off. If they wouldn't have been, it would have been a double play possibility, but it would have been a difficult one with the speedy Gillies. That brings up Tyler Massey as he represents the tying run with 2 down. Runners on second and third. First pitch to Massey's way inside, blocked by Henriquez, 1-0. T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the fifth. Kubler comes set. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0. And being a relief pitcher that Kubler has been this season for Sioux City, and really for most of his career, if you look at the numbers, you can tell that he has been used to situations like this. He may come in as a reliever with 2 outs, runners on second and third, just like he is right now. So he knows how to pitch right now. And I'm liking how he's pitching right now at the count now 3-0. Jake Blackwood on deck for Kansas City, representing the go-ahead run. Not something that the T-Bones can squander, as they're just going to put Massey on. And they're going to take their chances with Blackwood. Intentional walk for Tyler Massey. That'll load the bases. And Steve Montgomery with the right mindset will force an out at any bag. And as the coach will come out and talk to Kubler, this is definitely just a time to talk about strategy, seeing as how nobody's up in Sioux City's bullpen. No one up in Kansas City's bullpen, as we'll see Jordan Cooper coming back out. Keep in mind, in the bottom of the fifth, we'll have the This Day in Baseball History segment that I tried to start and keep going. I think it's interesting. You may hate it. I guess really I'm doing it for me. I learn something new every day, and I hope you do as well. We finally hit 8:30. Update between the Royals and the Blue Jays. Paulo Orlando just hit a solo home run in the bottom of the fifth. Royals still trail the Blue Jays 3-2. Or resume play, Montgomery returning to the dugout. Bases loaded, 2 down. T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the top of the fifth. And Jake Blackwood steps in, representing the go-ahead run, tying run on first. Jake Blackwood has been hot recently by driving in runs. Driving in 2 yesterday and already 1 today. First pitch, pops it straight up. Henriquez just pulls off his mask slowly and barely has to move to bring it in as the T-Bones strand the bases loaded and trail 4-1. We'll head to the home half of the fifth and see the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Sioux City. Washington, Caldwell, and Slattery here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones broadcast. During the T-Bones trail 4-1 as we head to the home half of the fifth. Still jersey giveaway day here at Sioux City. And I will still say that my favorite hobby of all time is watching grown men clamor over a free t-shirt. And I'm not hating on that in either way because I'm the same way. I love free stuff. But to watch just grown men just reaching for a free t-shirt, it's just something I'll always love. As LeVon Washington steps in, Washington is 1 for 2 today with him, well, picking up a single in the third. First pitch from Cooper is high, 1-0. As we begin our daily segment, this day in baseball history. Today is August 5th, and in 1999, Mark McGwire hit his 500th career home run as that's outside, 2-0. Padres hurler Andy Ashby, becoming the 16th major leaguer and the fastest to reach this milestone. The St. Louis Slugger is the first to accomplish that feat a year after reaching the 400 home run plateau. The 2-0 is in there, 2-1. In 2001 at Jacobs Field, the Indians, who trailed the game 14-2 after 6 innings, tally 12 runs to tie the score and will beat the Mariners 15-14 as that's in there as well. Counts now even at 2. 15-4 thanks to Jolbert Cabrera's 11th inning broken bat single, scoring Kenny Lofton to complete the unbelievable comeback. The Tribe joins the 1911 Tigers and 1925 A's to become the third team in Major League history to have won after being down by a dozen runs after Washington fouled it off. Counts now even at 2. Washington being a former Indians farmhand along with Cooper. Kind of weird that I just said that. Mark McGwire, like I just said, hit his 500th career home run on this day. Some might hate that. I'm a big fan of Mark McGwire. I'm a Royals fan. I shouldn't say this. Ring him up, LeVon Washington, 1 out. Jordan Cooper has bragging rights over him for a long time to come. Washington goes down swinging on the breaking ball. Looked a little inside, but I won't disagree as Tim Caldwell steps in 0 for 2. On August 5th, 1993, in the Padres' 11-10 victory over the Giants, Tony Gwynn goes 6 for 7 in the 12-inning contest played at Qualcomm Stadium. This is the 4th time this season the San Diego right fielder has collected 5 or more hits, which ties the Major League record shared by Hall of Famers Ty Cobb and Stan Musial. First pitch to Caldwell is outside, 1-0. Tony Gwynn, a favorite of most in Major League Baseball, passed away not very long ago. Some may say that his greatest gift to Major League Baseball, other than his great playing career, is Washington Nationals hurler Steven Strasburg. Gwynn was the head coach at San Diego State University in obviously San Diego, California, where Strasburg was the number 1 overall pick at it. Counts now 2-1 to Tim Caldwell. Caldwell lays down a bunt. Close play at the bag. Cooper gets him out on time as Jake Blackwood stretches for the 1-3 and the second out. Brings up Brendan Slattery, who's 0 for 1 today with a run scored.
Number 7, first baseman, Brendan Slattery.
And on this date in 2012, Darwin Barney is the first pitch. He's on the inner half, called strike. Becomes the club's all-time leader for second baseman when he plays in his 91st consecutive game and a single season without committing an error. The 26-year-old Chicago infielder, as that's fouled up and out of play. Counts now 0-2. En route to setting the National League record mark with 127 straight scoreless, errorless game streak, surpasses Ryan Sandberg's team record that the Hall of Famer established in 1989. The Chicago Cubs obviously have the second baseman Ben Zobrist, so that's chopped into right field for a 2-out single for Brendan Slattery. And former Royal and former Oakland A, former Tampa Bay Rays. I guess a guy that's been everywhere, Ben Zobrist. They're obviously having their fantastic year, him as well, starting the All-Star game. I would have loved to have him back in a Royals uniform. Cubs fans might want Darwin Barney back. Other than his horrendous bat, he did have an amazing glove. And a lighthearted one. I promise I only have 2 more, depending on when the 5th will end. 2011, Darla Harlow, a big fan of the Mississippi Braves, minor league team for the Atlanta Braves, is given the honor of throwing out the ceremonial first pitch at Trustmark Park. So that's outside 1-0 to Ralphie Henriquez. In Pearl, after tossing the ball to home plate, the military wife is totally surprised when the catcher takes off his mask, revealing the player is really her husband Michael, an Army major who has been away from home serving in Afghanistan as that's fouled off for the past 9 months. You really love to see stuff like that happen, and that's what baseball is all about. It brings people together. It's just an awesome sport. It's about as American as it gets, and what's more American than bringing our soldier home. And then finally, on this date in 2007 at Wrigley Field, Tom Glavine, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, becomes the 23rd player in Major League history to win his 300th victory. The crafty southpaw, the 5th lefty to reach the milestone, limits the Cubs to 6 hits and a walk in 6 1/3 innings as the Mets bang out 16 hits and beat Chicago in a nationally televised ESPN Sunday night game 8-3. That's outside 2-1, 2 outs. T-Bone's trailing 4-1 with a runner on first. Tom Glavine spent some time with the Mets, with the Braves. It was just one of the greatest pitchers of all time. He may not ever be in the discussion. People in my age group, that's pulled by Henriquez down the right field line. Had home run distance, but foul. But nonetheless, Tom Glavine, one of the greatest ever, picked up his 300th victory on this date in 2007. And okay, I actually have one more, and it was in 2006, and it's an important one. Trevor Hoffman throws a scoreless 9th inning in San Diego's 6-3 victory over the Nationals at Petco Park to become the first Major League reliever to record 30 saves for 11 seasons. The Padres' closer milestones establishes a Major League record, surpassing the mark set by Lee Smith, baseball's all-time saves leader. And swing on and missed as Ralphie Henriquez goes down swinging. 2nd strikeout of the inning, 3rd and final out here in the 5th, and that couldn't have worked out better with my timing. But the T-Bones still trail 4-1 through 5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King. We have a new pitcher into the game For Sioux City, it's P.J. Franciscan. First pitch to Anthony Gauss is popped foul straight back. No balls, 1 strike. Closes the day on Jake Kubler. He wasn't expected to go deep in his first start of the season, and he didn't, but he went efficient and made a quality start. He went 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned while walking 1 and striking 1 out. The 0-1. Gallus gets under it just a touch too much. Sends it out to left field, shallow left field. And Sampson brings it in shallow left field. So far this season, P.J. Franciscan is 0 for 4 with a 7.23 ERA and 10 appearances, one of those being a start, and an 18 2/3, has struck out 14 while walking 4. First pitch from Jimmy Mojica is from Franciscan to Jimmy Mojica is high but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Mojica is 0 for 2 today. Franciscan is a native of Nashville, Tennessee, the same place where our media god Matt Folks is from. That's a 5-3 put out for the second out. I know I'm going to get a text on that one saying don't say that, but truth hurts. Franciscan started at NCAA Division II Trevecca Nazarene in his hometown. Was drafted by the Cubs after posting a 6-2 record with a 3.28 ERA in his junior year. He was the closer last season for the Class AA Tennessee Smokies in Knoxville, logging 21 saves and a 1.69 ERA before turning in 8 shutout innings and 3 late-season appearances for the Class AAA Iowa Cubs. As Dalton Wheat comes up swinging an empty, no balls, 1 strike. Wheat is 0 for 2 today. Franciscan was released by the Cubs and served a 50-game suspension this spring. He signed with the X's on July 3rd. The 0-1. Wheat fouls it off down the left field line and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. And Franciscan does have the luscious locks out on the mound. And to be honest, when a pitcher has longer hair, I think you have to earn it. I don't think he's earned it. That's a level of swag that I don't think he has earned himself. As Wheat fouls it off, no balls, 2 strikes. He was suspended those 50 games. Looking deeper into it, it was for marijuana use. Doesn't appear that he's ever going to quit, as he's also been quoted as saying that marijuana helps him pitch better. No opinion. The 0-2. Dalton Wheat sends it out to right field. That's going to be trouble, and it drops in front of Lang. Dalton Wheat extends his hitting streak to 11 games thanks to that 2-out single. It appears that Michael Lang, you have to hit the snooze button out in right field, as that ball should have been routine. But Lang not really reading it off the bat. We'll take it. Dalton Wheat, 11-game hitting streak, 2 outs. Runner on first. T-Bone's trailing 4-1. Tying run on the on-deck circle. First pitch to Vladimir Frias is on the outer half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Frias is 1 for 2 in today's action. Frias bloops that into left field. That'll drop in front of Washington. And that puts runners on first and second for Tyler Moore. Moore representing the tying run. Back-to-back singles for the T-Bones put the runners on first and second, with the T-Bones trailing 4-1. Just from the note that everybody up here has been telling me, this has been the story of P.J. Franciscan's season. He was successful in the Cubs organization, but since coming here, it's been nothing but struggles. Well, everything else has been here, it's been nothing but attitude as well. Tyler Moore steps in. Speaking of Tyler Moore, he's the opposite of attitude. Played his high school ball at Mill Valley in Shawnee, Kansas. Multi-sport athlete before deciding that baseball was his inevitable future. First pitch is outside but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. been proof that hard work beats talent. He took the hard way to get to D1, spending his time at Coffeyville Community College. And eventually finding his way to Kansas State. He swings and comes up empty, no balls, 2 strikes. As a sophomore at Coffeyville, Moore received second-team all-conference selection in the Jayhawk Conference. He saw action in all 56 games as a catcher for the Ravens and hit .363 with 3 home runs and a team-high 55 RBIs. He ranked second on the team in both walks with 30 and runs with 51. And Tyler Moore goes down swinging on 3 pitches for the third and final out. The T-Bones get 2 on 2 hits, but they strand them both, and the T-Bones trail 4-1 through 5.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We get set to begin the bottom of the 6th. The T-Bones trailing 4-1. We'll see the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Sioux City. It'll be Mendonça, Johns, and Robinson. Tommy Mendonça steps in now. He's 1 for 1 today. Last time we saw him, we take you back to the 4th inning. He launched a 2-run home run, which has been the major difference in this game. First pitch to Mendonça. Breaking ball that touches the zone at 70 miles an hour. No balls, 1 strike from Jordan Cooper. Cooper had given up 2 runs in each of his 3 previous starts. Doubled that number today with 4 given up so far. The 0-1, Mendonça tries to add another one, but comes up empty. No balls, 2 strikes. He tried to pull that one clear as day. The 0-2. Breaking ball that Mendonça gets under and sends it out to left center. Tyler Massey reaching for it and brings it in for the first out. Tyler Massey is the definition of covers a crazy amount of real estate in center field. And good luck letting anything drop in there. Has cooled off here in Sioux City with the sun going down. We're sitting at a cool 74 degrees, and my Lord, it feels awesome outside. That brings up Brian Johns. The 9-hole hitter is 1 for 2 with a single. Last time we saw him in the 4th, he reached second, third, thanks to 2 separate wild pitches. As the first pitch is low and outside, 1-0. He was ultimately stranded at third. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0 with 1 out, and the T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Elsewhere in the American Association, Wichita leading Lincoln 6-4 at Haymarket Park in the top of 6. That's sent on the ground to short. Vladimir Frias was going to do a spinning throw, but holds on to it. That's a one-out single for Brian Johns, his second of the game. Brings up Derek Robinson, who's 2 for 3 today with an RBI. But elsewhere in the American Association at Haymarket Park, they're in the top of the 6. Wichita leads Lincoln 6-4. At Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Joplin is trailing the Lemurs 2-1. At CHS Field in St. Paul, Fargo Moorhead is trailing the Saints 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. And at Sioux Falls Stadium, Texas is trailing the Canaries 2-1 in the top of the 7th. And at U.S. Steel Yard, Gary South Shore is leading Winnipeg 1-0 in the top of the 5th. The first pitch to Robinson is low, 1-0. Derek Robinson in the first inning singled. He would have scored what would have been a tying run, but he was gunned down by Tyson Gillies. In the second, he reached on a single, but was picked off at first. And in the fourth, he popped out to third in foul territory. The 1-0 as Cooper comes set. Taking his time, fires home. Robinson sends it up the middle off the mound. Frias ranging, tries to backhand it behind his back to Brett Wiley. It gets away from Wiley as it was just a crazy wild throw. John Mazzarelli can't be happy. He made what should have been a routine play very difficult, and Bill Sobey will come out and talk to his pitcher. There is action in the T-Bones bullpen. Appears to be Johnny Shuttlesworth out there tossing the ball around. Interested to see what they rule on Vladimir Frias. You'd have to think it'd be an error. Call it a fielder's choice. That puts Derek Robinson on. The runners on first and second with 1 out when we resume play. Sobey returns. Appears that he's making small talk with the umpire. Bill Sobey is the king of small talk. It turns out it wasn't small talk because they're getting a little more animated. But Sobey will return to the dugout. We'll get back at it with Michael Lang stepping into the box for Sioux City. Lang is 0 for 2. He walked last time we saw him in the 4th. He comes on now with runners on first and second. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th with the T-Bones trailing 4-1. Righty versus righty. First pitch to Lang. Pops it straight in the air. Tyler Moore and Jake Blackwood looking for it in the lights. Blackwood finds it and brings it in right in front of the T-Bones dugout for the huge second out on the first pitch. Brings in Nate Sampson. Sampson has 1 for 3 today. He singled clear back in the first, but was ultimately stranded at third. He comes on now with 2 down and runners on first and second. They do give Derek Robinson the single, actually, earlier in this inning. The 11th hit for Sioux City as that's sent out to left field. Tyson Gillies comes in just a few steps and brings it in for the third and final out as Jordan Cooper now thrown 2 straight scoreless innings. But 2 hits puts 2 on, and they strand them both as Kansas City still trails 4-1 through 6 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King as Brett Wiley steps in to lead things off in the 7th. T-Bones trail 4-1. Game has been scoreless since the 4th. Sioux City picked up 2 in the 4th thanks to a 2-run home run by Tommy Mendonça. Picked up 2 in the 2nd. And T-Bones picked up their run in the 1st. Brett Wiley singled in the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th. He's 3 for 3 today out of the leadoff hole. First pitch to Wiley is outside, 1-0. Kansas City looking to get things going. They do have 7 hits in this game to Sioux City's 11. T-Bones also did have 9 hits yesterday, as Wiley goes low for that and fouls it off, and the count's now even at 1. I'm sure that Wiley and Franciscan have played each other. Wiley being a longtime member of the St. Louis Cardinals farm system, and Franciscan spending a lot of time in the Chicago Cubs organization. Both players did reach AAA last season. As Brett Wiley swings and misses, and it's now 1-2. Franciscan spending time with the Iowa Cubs, the Cubs AAA affiliate, and Brett Wiley spending time with Memphis, which is the AAA affiliate for the Cardinals. Wiley only did have 3 at-bats with Memphis last season, going 1 for 3 with a run scored. As that strike 3 goes down looking for the first out. Second strikeout of the game for P.J. Franciscan. Brings up Tyson Gillies, who's 0 for 3 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and scored the lone run for Kansas City to this point. First pitch to Gillies. Grounds it softly to short. Sampson gets by him through his legs, and Tyson Gillies will reach to what I'm sure is ruled an error. Should have been a routine play for the Explorers shortstop. I did ask the players earlier before the game what the playing conditions are like here in Sioux City. To put it bluntly, they're not a fan, and Nate Sampson might not have been a fan right there on that as well. As Tyler Massey steps in, Massey is 0 for 1 today with 2 walks in the 3rd and the 5th. First pitch strike is in there to Tyler Massey. No balls, 1 strike. Tyler Massey, drafted out of Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee by the Colorado Rockies. This is his first professional season away from the Rockies organization. Massey swings and comes up empty. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 down, and runner on first, and the T-Bones trailing 4-1 here in the top of the 7th. Hitting 9 o'clock here in Sioux City. The 0-2, righty versus lefty. Way inside, but called strike 3. Tyler Massey, seriously not a fan. And he's got some words for the umpire. Massey gets a warning. Umpire waves goodbye. And that's the problem with the umpires in this league. They just don't let things go. Massey still exchanging words. Steps into the dugout for the second out. Sioux City playing the classless card with the crying baby over the PA. Steve Montgomery will come out and talk to Francescan. Tyler Massey still heated about that in the T-Bones dugout, and rightfully so. That pitch was way inside that rang him up. I think what made him more mad is that home plate umpire Sean Hicks kept sticking up his hand like, bye, bye. He did it 3 times. And when you're a guy who just struck out, and baseball players get incredibly frustrated when they strike out, and rightfully so, when the umpire is playing that card, things aren't going to be good. I believe there needs to be some serious inner looking on how these umpires handle players that argue. Major league umpires handle it perfectly. These ones, work in progress, but really, that's understandable. Tyson Gilly still on first with 2 outs as Jake Blackwood steps in. Blackwood is 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the first. First pitch strike is in there to Blackwood. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1. Blackwood rolls over and sends it foul down the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. Royals and Blue Jays are currently tied at 3 in the 7th inning. And that's the reason I'm not broadcasting for them, because I don't know my numbers. The 0-2 to Jake Blackwood. Franciscan checks on Gillies at first. Gillies is back standing. Jake Blackwood is a huge presence in this league, spending 2014 in Winnipeg, a year that they won the American Association. 2010, he was an MVP for the American Association with the Kansas City T-Bones when he hit 31 home runs and 86 RBIs, and he goes down swinging on 3 pitches. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Francescan, 1 reaching on an error. T-Bones trail 4-1 through 6.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King, live at Lewis and Clark Park in Sioux City, Iowa. We have a new pitcher into the game for the T-Bones by way of Tyler Ybarra. First batter he'll face is the former first-round draft pick, Levon Washington. Washington is 1 for 3 today. Picking up his hit in the 3rd inning. First pitch from Ybarra is 1-0. Ybarra is a native of Wellington, Kansas, playing his high school ball at Wellington High School in Wellington, Kansas. He was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 43rd round of the 2008 draft out of Wellington. He spent, appears to be, from 2009 to 2014 in the Rangers organization. Then he went and played a season in the Venezuelan Winter League. Last season played Double-A for the Colorado Rockies. Last season going 1-0 with a .487 ERA and 38 appearances. Which comes out to 44 and a 30. Picked up 3 saves and struck out 44 while walking 28. 1-1 from the lefty Ybarra is high. 2-1. Tyler Ybarra's played last season in the with New Britain, the Double-A affiliate for the Rockies. There's a teammate of Tyler Massey, the T-Bone center fielder. Inside and tight, 3-1 now to Washington. The 3-1. On the outer half, called strike. Counts now full on deck for Sioux City's number 4, Tim Colwell. Tyler Ybarra was traded to the Colorado Rockies on February 4th, 2015. He was traded in exchange for Jason Aquino. Aquino was once a top 10 prospect in that organization. And it said, just in the trade, in exchange for a minor league pitcher, that pitcher being Tyler Ybarra, as that's grounded sharply to Mojica on third. Mojica dives to his right, but strong throw is too high. And Levon Washington reaches on the singles. He would have beat it out anyways. His second hit of the game. That puts Tim Colwell up. Colwell is 0 for 3. Obviously, at the time, that deal didn't really bring up too much attention. I mean, it's a minor deal, you know. Man who became a Rocky, Tyler Ybarra, had impressive numbers. A 3.09 ERA over 218 career minor league innings to go along with 233 strikeouts. But at 25 years old and brand new to Double-A, the clock was ticking. First pitch, Tim Colwell's in there. No balls, 1 strike. At the time, Ybarra wasn't too worried about fitting into his new organization, rightfully so. The 0-1 to Colwell rolls him over and foul, no balls, 2 strike. See, Ybarra's focus was on his infant daughter, Ariana. Reliever was notified of the trade just days before she was scheduled to undergo open heart surgery. Ybarra at the time said it was strange timing. I had a lot of things going on when I first got traded. My daughter was about to go into heart surgery, so she kind of had more of my focus than the actual trade. Really, no kidding. Sometimes you just kind of forget that these players are real people. As Washington runs, Tyler Moore throw down. It's going to be close, and he's safe. Levon Washington picks up the steal. That's been the story of the season for Sioux City as Washington picks up his 4th stolen base, 108th of the season for Sioux City. Tyler Moore, still a great throw down there. As Colwell goes down swinging for the first out. Runner on second after the stolen base. Obviously, these trades that Tyler Ybarra and many others have been a part of impact a player's life beyond just baseball. That means uprooting your family for another state, another gig, and yet another employer. First pitch to Brennan Slattery is outside, 1-0. Slattery is 1 for 2 with a run scored today. At the time, Ybarra said it was very surprising. I never pictured myself being a part of a trade or playing for another team. He'd been playing for Toronto for 6 years and just never thought of it. The 1-0 is in the dirt, blocked by Moore, 2-0. You have to hand it to the Rockies during that time, as they did a lot to make that transition a lot easier for him and his family. Days after the trade, they sent his recovering daughter a care package to help ease the family through the stressful time. You really, really have to hand it to that awesome organization. 2-0 is outside. 3-0. The T-Bones trailing 4-1 with one out and a runner on second. Having made it through open heart surgery, his daughter Ariana now improving on the other end in a much better place now. Almost exactly 1 full year after the procedure, he now revisits the surgery as a past memory rather than a current reality. 3-0, runner on second, one out. Fastball in there, called strike, counts now 3-1. Tyler Ybarra obviously giving all he can for his family. Have to have nothing but respect for a guy like that. Here comes the 3-1. It's high, and Brendan Slattery walks with one out, putting runners on first and second.
Number 8, the catcher, Ralph Enriquez.
That brings up Ralph Henriquez. It was 2 for 3 today with 2 runs scored. Singling in the second and the fourth. Scoring both of those times. He struck out swinging. Last time we saw him in the fifth. Last time we saw Tyler Ybarra was on July 29th at Winnipeg, a game the T-Bones lost 15-16. He went 1 inning in that decisive contest, giving up 2 runs. They were both earned 2 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. First pitch to Ralphie Henriquez gets him swinging and missing. No balls, 1 strike. He only has 3 appearances for Kansas City this season. He has an ERA of 5.40 and 3 1/3. He has struck out 4 and walked 2. So there are 2 appearances coming on July 25th and 26th against Gary. His first appearance was at Kansas City on July 25th. He went a third, striking out the only batter he faced. First pitch is a strike. No balls. It was 1-1 actually. On the very next day, again, the T-Bones lost 2-7. Ybarra went 2 innings, giving him 1 hit and 2 strikeouts, while walking none. Runners on first and second, 1 out, counts 1-1. T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Here it comes. Enriquez fouls it back, and the count's now 1-2. Anybody that's watched a baseball game on TV, you see the guys that foul the ball straight back into the net, and the people standing behind them, or sitting behind them, I should say, in the very expensive seats, always acting like they're getting out of the way. And it's just natural human reaction, but it's still just so fun to watch. A young couple right down in front of me. So that ball, had the net not been there, it would have hit us right in the face. Both just flexed and panicked as Enriquez goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the inning for Ybarra as well. Runners still on first and second for 2 down for Tommy Mendonca. Mendonca has been dangerous today, going 1 for 2 with that run and 2 RBIs. With a 2-run home run in the 4th. On his career, Tyler Ybarra has struck out 283 while walking only 153 with 52. As Mendonca fouls the first pitch off, no balls, 1 strike. If you're doing the math, like I'm unable to do, ask anybody that knows me, math is just blech. That's 9.4 strikeouts per game if he pitched all 9. The 0-1. Mendonca swings and misses, and Ybarra has him right where he wants him. No balls and 2 strikes. Ybarra was used as a closer of sorts during his time in Double-A with New Britain, picking up 3 saves and his 44 and a third. Highest level he had reached was Double-A, doing that with Toronto and Colorado. The 0-2 is low and blocked by Moore. 1-2. Runners still on first and second, 2 down. T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City has 7 hits. Sioux City 12. Sioux City has committed an error as well. And Kansas City has not. fun fact on Tyler Ybarra, batting 1,000 for his career, only having one at-bat and one hit. That was in 2015 with the Rockies AA affiliate. That's in the dirt as well, blocked 2-2. Wonder if he ever just goes around the T-Bones clubhouse and says, hey, guess what, guys? My batting average is better than yours for my entire career. To me, I think that would just be hilarious. He did have 2 plate appearances. And that one hit of his, guess what it did? It drove in a run. He's 1 for 1 for his career with an RBI. I doubt he's going to get some time with the bat here, but what an awesome stat. The 2-2 is fouled off by Mendoza. He stays alive at the count 2-2. Tyler Ybarra sitting at a 23 pitches and 2/3 of an inning's work. The magic number you usually want to stay under or at is 15. Mostly you stay under. At's not a bad number. Currently at 23. Runners on first and second, 2 down. The count 2-2. Double deuces all around. T-Bones trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Lefty versus lefty. And here comes the 2-2. It's outside, way blocked by Tyler Moores. That was way outside. Rookie catcher doing a fantastic job to glove it. And that counts now full. On deck for Sioux City is number 1, Brian Johns. Both runners will go as this is their advantage with the full count and 2 outs. Ybarra comes set with the payoff pitch and fires home. And Mendoza goes down, so he gets past Moore into the deep backstop here. Mendoza advances to first. So the strikeout's the 3rd of the game for Ybarra, 3rd of the inning. But Mendoza advances to first. And that loads the bases for Brian Johns. Johns is 2 for 3 out of the 9 hole today, with the singles in the 4th and the 6th. Farthest he's reached is 3rd. Advancing to 3rd on 2 separate wild pitches. And the 4th being the farthest he's gotten today. John steps in, bases loaded, infield, outfield playing straight up. First pitch to Johns. Fouled back, no balls, 1 strike. Like I said earlier, it's always funny to watch the people flinch. They did right there is 2 older gentlemen down in about the 4th row right behind home plate. One of them flinched. The other one flinched a little bit, but the one that flinched a little bit has to give the one that flinched a lot a hard time. Gotta love being at the ballpark. The 0-1, 2 outs, bases juiced. Ybarra comes set and fires home. Just outside. Counts now even at 1. Tyler Ybarra currently sitting at 26 pitches so far. 27, actually. Excuse me. Sioux City only has 2 batters without hits today. One being the 2-hole, one being out of the 5-hole. Next pitch is a fastball called strike. No balls, 2 strikes to the 9-hole hitter, Brian Johns, out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Like I said, Brian Johns is 2 for 3 today. He had been struggling with Fargo-Moorhead, but his college career was about as good as it gets, winning a JUCO World Series and then playing his D1 ball at perennial powerhouse Vanderbilt University. The 1-2. Johns goes down swinging for the 3rd out. So technically, Tyler Ybarra picked up 4 strikeouts in that inning. Runner did advance on one of them, Tommy Mendoza. Brian Johns strikes out as Tyler Ybarra comes in and shuts the door in the 7th. We're still scoreless. We're still trailing 4-1. Sioux City clinging to the lead through 7 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Rob Wart in now to pitch for Sioux City, relieving P.J. Franciscan. First pitch to Anthony Gallus is on the outer half, called strike, no balls, one strike. Anthony Gallus is 0 for 3 today. His next pitch is high and evens the count at 1. So far this season, Rob Wart is 3 for 3 with a 1.60 ERA in 20 games. He's picked up a save, and in 33 and 2/3 innings, he's struck out 45 while walking 17. Count is now 2-1 to Anthony Gallus. Rob Wart was the first relief pitcher to reach double digits in wins. Wart was 11-3 with 4 saves and a 1.79 ERA in 41 appearances for last year's record-breaking Explorers. It's now 2-2 to Gallus. He was signed by the Boston Red Sox and assigned to the Class AA Portland, Maine Sea Dogs. However, he was released in late May and persuaded to rejoin the Explorers this season. Wart struck out 92 batters in 65 1/3 innings here last season and 58 and 37 innings as Anthony Gallus goes down swinging for the first out. Last season, or actually I should say in 2014, Rob Wart posted a 0.97 ERA with the Explorers. It's a little guy at 6'1", 155 pounds, a native of St. Charles, Missouri. First pitch to Jimmy Mojica's in there, no balls, one strike. Mojica is 0 for 3 today. Struck out in the second. That's also in there, no balls, 2 strikes. As the T-Bones have taken exception tonight to Sean Hicks' strike zone. I feel like I've done a good job holding my tongue, contrary to my previous broadcasts, as I try to get better. The 0-2, Mojica rolls over and grounds it softly to Sampson at short. Sampson with the throw to first for the newly entered into the game Eno Patron for the routine 6-3 second out. And I'm curious to know if maybe it gets a little more difficult for these hitters at night with Highway 20 in the background. You got cars with their headlights and taillights going by, semis every now and then. May also be easier because then the hill in center field becomes dark. But either way, a batter's eye would go a long way here. Dalton Wheat steps in. Wheat extended his hitting streak to 11 games. Last time we saw him in the 6th. He's 1 for 3 today. First pitch strike is in there to Wheat. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 0-1 from Wart. It's outside. Counts now even at 1. T-Bones trail the Explorers 4-1 with 2 down here in the top of the 8th. The 1-1. Wheat swings and comes up empty on a ball that's in the dirt. The count is now 1-2. Nate Sampson still second in the league in batting with a .343. So he's done a fine job at shortstop tonight, picking up an error and going 1 for 4 as that's way high. Counts now even at 2 as Delton Wheat has worked his way back into the count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the top of the 8th. As Dalton Wheat fouls that down the left field line and out of play, and the count remains even at 2. And Dalton Wheat has had a season of fouling pitches off and hitting objects. Right there, he hit a camera bay early in the season at Joplin. He hit a coach, shattered that coach's forearm. He's hit plenty of press box windows at Community America Ballpark. Always seems next pitch, he goes and picks up a hit. And just like clockwork, that almost drops into center field. Nate Sampson brings it in. Sounded like Wheat's bat shattered. That's 3 up, 3 down for the T-Bones. Kansas City still trails 4-1 through 7.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Tyler Ybarra still out there for Kansas City. Ybarra was is sitting at plenty of pitches at this point. He'll face the top of the lineup, Derek Robinson. Ybarra picked up 4 strikeouts in the 7th. Yes, you did hear that right. One of those strikeouts was a wild pitch, and the runner advanced. All of those outs obviously being strikeouts. Fouls the first pitch off to Derek Robinson. No balls, 1 strike. Robinson being a switch hitter facing the lefty Ybarra. Now bats out of the right side. Batted out of the left side of the box for the most part of this game. The right-hander Jordan Cooper getting the start. Mike Kickham got the start yesterday for Kansas City. He was a lefty, so Robinson's not unfamiliar with the right side of the box and hasn't grown cold. The 0-1. Way inside and counts now 1-1. Robinson is 3 for 4 today with 2 RBIs. And Barr is sitting at 31 pitches. A 1-1. Robinson fouls it off down the right field line. Kansas City has 7 hits to the Sioux City's 12. Kansas City trails 4-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Tyler Ybarra gets the sign from Tyler Moore. The 1-2, Ybarra comes set and fires home. Just a touch inside, and now the count is even at 2. Coming out of high school, Tyler Ybarra played his high school ball at Wellington High School in Wellington, Kansas. Southpaw originally signed out of high school to play his college ball at Oklahoma State. Actually, Oklahoma. He had his sights set on playing college baseball at Oklahoma after a 1-year stop at Hutchinson Community College. That's where he was going to go, and then go to Oklahoma. But when he got drafted, that's the route he opted to take. And Robinson walks on a pitch that's low to lead up things off here in the 8th. Ybarra started off his professional career as a 19-year-old with the Gulf Coast League Blue Jays in the Toronto organization. Working out of the bullpen, Ybarra totaled 20 and 30 innings of work in 16 appearances. The left-hander finished 2-4 with an ERA of .664 and a WHIP of 1.918. With the help of the Blue Jays staff, Ybarra hoped that he could make adjustments to get better over the course of the following season. As the 2010 season approached, Ybarra made the choice that I'm sure is not easy as he checks on the runner at first. Robinson is picked off earlier in the game. He gets back safely this time, but barely. 2010, he decided to walk away from the game of baseball. Instead of playing the game he loved, he moved back home. While back in Kansas, he not only grew as a person, but he also helped with responsibilities at home. For Ybarra, it's family first, and the Blue Jays share that same philosophy with their young players. So it appears they are on board with his decision. That's a 0-1 count now to Michael Lang. Lang is 0 for 3. Lang swings and misses on a 94-mile-an-hour heater, and Lang's behind, no balls, 2 strikes. They clear up the confusion with his college. Originally, he's signed to play with a junior college here in Kansas, Hutchinson, which is a powerhouse in the Jayhawk Conference. He had committed originally to sign with Oklahoma, but there was issues with his transcripts, which is a common story, as Lang grounds that softly to Wiley. Wiley flips it to Frias at second. They can only get the 1. They get the lead runner for the first out. As Michael Lang advances on the fielder's choice.
Number 5, shortstop, Nate Sampson.
That brings up Nate Sampson. Sampson is 1 for 4 today with a single way back in the first. Sampson fouls the first pitch off. Counts no balls, 1 strike. I said earlier that Nate Sampson is still second in the American Association in hitting. So he entered today's action with a .343. Harrison Kane still tops in that, as he's been for the most part of the season, adding .358 for the Wichita Wingnuts. That's inside on Sampson. The count's even at 1. We'll be back on the air tomorrow for tomorrow's action. It'll be at 7 p.m. Josh Hodges will be on the mound for the T-Bones. He'll be facing Bubba Maxwell for Sioux City. First pitch, settled for 7 p.m. We'll be on the call for you on that one. Game's still not over with the T-Bones trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th, a runner on first and 1 down. Ibarra checks on the runner first. Lang dives back safely. Elsewhere around the American Association. At Haymarket Park, they're in the bottom of the 7th. Lincoln now leading Wichita 9-6. Runner goes. Tyler Moore fires. He's got an arm. It's going to be close. He called him safe. Could have gone either way. Can't disagree too much. Second stolen base of the game for Sioux City. That's the 20th stolen base of the season for Michael Lang. Sioux City now has 3 guys with 20 stolen bases this season. 2-1 to Sampson. And here it comes. Sampson fouls it off. The count's now 2-2 with 1 out, runner on second. T-Bones trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. At Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Joplin trails the Lemurs 3-2. At CHS Field, St. Paul is hosting Fargo. Fargo leads that one 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. At Sioux Falls Stadium, we have a final. Sioux Falls defeated Texas 2-1. And at U.S. Steelyard, they're in the bottom of the 7th. Gary is leading Winnipeg 1-0. That's outside. Now the count is full to Sampson. On deck for Sioux City is number 3, Levon Washington. It's kind of crazy that Texas and Sioux Falls is already done. So that started at 7:06, which was a good 5-6 minutes after us. Game only lasted 2.5 hours. Runner goes. Blocked by Moore. That walks Sampson and puts runners on the corners with 1 out. No action in the T-Bones bullpen. Second stolen base for Michael Lang in this inning.
Number 3, left fielder, Levon Washington.
That brings up Levon Washington with runners on the corners and 1 down. T-Bones trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Washington is 2 for 4 today. No runs and no RBIs. First pitch to Washington. Washington off the end of his bat, charging Mojica, wanted to go home with it, does not, just takes it to first. Run scores, and 2 down as Sioux City extends their lead to 5-1. Levon Washington picks up the RBI as first of the game on the ground out. Puts a runner on second for Tim Colwell. On his jersey giveaway day, he's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Kansas City trailing now 5-1 to the Explorers. First pitch to Colwell. He fouls it back. No balls, 1 strike. Tyler Ibarra looking to take care of business here. Picking up 4 strikeouts last inning. In this inning, Sioux City started out with a walk. Runner reached on fielder's choice. Another walk, and then ground out RBI. Colwell swings and misses. No balls, 2 strikes. Michael Lang picked up 2 stolen bases this inning and came around to score. T-Bones trail 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second. Here comes the 0-2 from Ibarra. Runner goes. Tyler Moore fires down. Low throw, and they call him safe. 3rd stolen base of the inning for Sioux Falls, as they're a running, gunning team. 111th stolen base for Sioux City this season. Nate Sampson just picked up his 22nd stolen base to tie for the team lead with Tim Caldwell, who's up to bat with a 1-2 and 2 outs. Runners now on third. Caldwell goes down swinging. 5th strikeout for Tyler Yabar, and it's a big one. Sioux City picks up a run on no hits. They leave one on 3 stolen bases as well. Kansas City trails 5-1 through 8 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King. Lee gets set to begin the top of the 9th. We have a new pitch into the game for Sioux City with the T-Bones trailing 5-1. Vladimir Frias will lead things off for Kansas City. Frias finds himself going. That can't be right. Frias is 2 for 3 today. His first pitch strike is in there from Connor Overton. Overton enters for Rob Ward, who went 1 inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So far this season, Overton is 5-0 in 27 appearances with a 0.80 ERA. He's picked up 11 saves, which leads the team in 33 2/3. Struck out 41 and walked 11. Strike is in there, no balls, 2 strikes. This is not a save opportunity, thanks to his team picking up a run in the bottom of the 8th. Overton probably a little upset about that, as these saves go a long way with these guys. One and 2 now to Frias. Connor Overton is the youngest player on this team. He was just 20 when he was drafted in 2013 in the 15th round by the Marlins. After 3 seasons, won a redshirt year at Old Dominion in Norfolk, Virginia. Next pitch rings Frias up on the outer half, called strike for the first out. That brings up Tyler Moore, who's 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Overton's last year at Old Dominion, he saw him log a team-leading 279 earned run average, totaling 42 innings and 30 appearances while striking out 43 and walking 16. So native of Richmond, Virginia, he's picked up by the Nationals last July and still qualifies as a rookie after pitching just 52 innings over the last 2 seasons. First pitch strike is in there to Starlin Rodriguez, who is hitting for Tyler Moore. That ends Tyler Moore's day at 0 for 3. The T-Bones do score 4 runs in this inning. I'm sure we'll see Steve Swingle doing the catching for Tyler Moore. We have to get to that point with a 1-1 count to Rodriguez now. Yesterday's action, Rodriguez got to start in right field and went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Righty versus righty. The 1-1. Rodriguez gets under it just a little too much, and that's out in the left center. Colwell will bring it in for the quick second out. Ball's hit about a mile in the air. T-Bones have one more out to score 4. Before that happens, I'd like to make a note that tomorrow is my birthday. My 21st birthday. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my parents. I refer to them as Mom and Dad. Everybody else will refer to them as Tom and Kate. I'd like to say a big thank you to forming me into what I am, a mediocre broadcaster and a decent person. First pitch is inside to Brett Wiley, 1-0. Guys are true role models and heroes. I'd like to thank you for making me what I am. As a still in progress 21-year-old. The 1-0 to Wiley is high, but called strike. Counts even at 1. Crowd gets on their feet here in Sioux City. So far today, Brett Wiley batting out of the leadoff hole for the first time in what I can remember as a T-Bone. Has gone 3 for 4, raising his average so far to 318. That's all transparent on what happens during this at-bat. 1-1 from Overton. Breaking ball with a hard break in the middle is just outside, 2-1. Base is empty, 2 outs, 2-1. T-Bone's trailing 5-1. The 2-1, Wiley fouls it off in defense mode. Off the foot of Ralphie Henriquez. Henriquez hobbling around. The count's even at 2. And what a time to get hurt. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th, your team leading by 4. In the second game of a 4-game series, and you take a foul ball off the foot. What an awesome time to do that. Speaking of second game of this 4-game series, we'll pick up the third game tomorrow at 7 p.m. Josh Hodges on the mound for Kansas City. Bubba Maxwell on for Sioux City. The 2-2 as the slow clap begins here at Lewis and Clark Park. Brett Wiley steps out to make these fans hurt just a little bit more. Here comes the 2-2. Wiley fouls it back. Everybody thought it was a strikeout, but he gets enough of it to stay alive, 2-2, and they're going to have to keep clapping. No, actually, they gave up on it. I can't blame them. I probably would have only done one clap and said, all right, let's get this done with. T-Bone still have a shot. Trailing 5-1, top of the 9th with 2 down. The 2-2 is outside, and that draws the count full. On deck for Kansas City is number 2, Tyson Gillies. Kansas City was down but not out last night. In the top of the 9th, they clawed back and picked up a run. And what was that 11-4 loss? All right, now they trail 5-1. Full count and 2 outs to Brett Wiley. He's going to be in aggressive mode here. Here it comes. Wiley sends it out to right field. Lang still retreating. He's on the track at the wall. It bounces off Brett Wiley, digging for 2. They're going to hold him at 2. And Brett Wiley picks up a 2-out double here in the top of the 9th to keep the T-Bones' hopes alive as he's gone 4 for 5 today. Brett Wiley seeing the ball well. Talking to him, all he preaches is just seeing the ball. And Tyson Gillies steps in now against the Sioux City reliever. Gillies enters his at bat 0 for 4 today, scoring a run in the first, the lone T-Bones run after he reached on a fielder's choice. Steps in now with Brett Wiley on second and 2 down. The tying run is in the hole. That's represented by Jimmy Mojica. Overton comes set. First pitch to Overton. Fastball in the outer half just misses. 1-0. Kansas City is a resilient bunch. And why not take the form of John Mazzarelli, one of the more resilient managers in the league. Kansas City looking to pick up their 30th win. Miracles can happen. The 1-0 is outside, but called strike. Gillies, not much of a disagreement. Counts even at 1. The 1-1, Overton comes set. Gillies fouls it off. The count's 2-1. He's been a leadoff hitter for the large part of his career. He says as he gets older, he's finding that he has more power, and that's been illustrated this season as well. There was a point in time where he was just a crazy hot hitter for Kansas City, and on the season, Tyson Gillies has 3 home runs. 1-2, he goes down swinging for the 3rd and final out. Kansas City drops this second game of this 4-game series, 5-1 to Sioux City. Lost their second straight against the Explorers after dropping last night's action 11-4. They look to get back on their winning ways tomorrow at 7 p.m. Josh Hodges taking the mound for the T-Bones against Bubba Maxwell for the Explorers. This loss drops the T-Bones record of 29-41 and puts Sioux City above 500, 36-35. Taking the loss for Kansas City is Jordan Cooper. That drops his overall record to 3-3. Picking up the win for Sioux City was Jake Kubler. Kubler is now 2-2 on the season, picking up the win in his first start. Elsewhere around the American Association, as we look at the American Association scoreboard. In Lincoln, they're in the top of the 9th. Wichita trailing that one 6-9 at Haymarket Park. At Unitrade Stadium, Laredo Lemurs lead Joplin Blasters 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. At CHS Field, they're in the top of the 9th. Fargo looking to extend their 4-1 lead over the St. Paul Saints. There's final at Sioux Falls Stadium. Sioux Falls defeats Texas 2-1. At U.S. Steelyard, they're in the top of the 8th, and they're tied at 1 between Winnipeg and Gary. Look at American Association Twitter and Facebook for the final updates of that game. Again, Kansas City falls to 29-41. Sioux City improves to 36-35. They're finally above 500. We'll be back here tomorrow on the T-Bones Broadcast Network with Josh Hodges taking the mound for Sioux City. A quick look at the batting stats for Kansas City. Brett Wiley picked up 4 hits. He went 4 for 5 today, improving his average to 321. Jake Blackwood went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Dalton Weed extended his hitting streak to 11 games. He went 1 for 4, and Vladimir Frias continued his hitting ways, going 2 for 4. Sioux City, of course, in the game where they win, they're going to have some nice stats. Derek Robinson went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs out of the leadoff hole. Levon Washington went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Ralph Enriquez went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 1 for 3 and a run scored for Tommy Mendonca and 2 RBIs. He also had that home run. Brian Johns out of the 9 hole went 2 for 4. Pitching for Kansas City was Jordan Cooper, going 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs. They were earned while walking 3 and striking out 4. He took the loss. Tyler Ybarra came in 2 innings of relief, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned while walking 3 and striking out 5. For Sioux City, after Kubler went 5 innings, gave it 5 hits, 1 run, and it was earned while walking 1 and striking 1 out and picking up the win. P.J. Franciscan came in and pitched 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Rob Wart came in and pitched an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Connor Overton polished things off in the top of the 9th, pitching his 1 inning with 1 hit, no walks, no runs, no hits, and 2 strikeouts. Be back here tomorrow on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Josh Hodges getting the start at 7 p.m. against Bubba Maxwell. Sure to tune in for that. It should be a good one. And the 3rd game of this 4-game series. Well, this is Sam King signing off, telling you to stay safe out there, and a very sincere thank you for listening.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Funweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.